Meet Lisa Robinson. She is a mother of two with a full-time position as a job coach for mentally and physically challenged people. She earns less than $400 a week, from which she pays for rent, utilities and telephone, buys food and household necessities, clothing, gas, car repairs, auto insurance, medications, and all the unexpected expenses life often throws at us. She has no health care insurance for herself, just one of the things she's had to sacrifice.
I have two sons. One is just turned 21 and he's away in college now. And I have a 17-year-old who has cerebral palsy and some mental retardation. He's totally wheelchair bound, nonverbal, so he's a total niche child. I mean, physically, everything, someone has to do everything for him. Financially, it's totally overwhelming.
Imagine you're a single parent raising two children in the state of Georgia and making less than a living wage. At the new federal minimum wage of $7.25 an hour, if you work 40 hours a week, your pay is $1,276. And even if you work 22 hours of overtime at time and a half, your income is $1,515. Here's your list of monthly expenses: housing, child care, food, transportation, clothing, household supplies, school supplies, health care, not to mention miscellaneous expenses. If housing is $900 a month, that leaves $615 or $154 a week for food, child care, transportation, clothing, health care, and all the other expenses it takes to support a family. Could you do it? What would you do? What do the working people do when they can't make ends meet? They work extra jobs and longer hours, often leaving children unattended. They go without food, shelter, health care, and other necessities. They depend on government benefits and charitable gifts. Some may even beg, borrow, steal, or sell illegal commodities. If you're thinking, well, why don't they just get better jobs? Many would love to, but they cannot afford the education or training required. And remember, these people do jobs that are essential to our daily lives. If they all improve their positions, you'd have to grow and pick your own food on a farm, serve yourself at your favorite restaurant, make your own drinks at the bar, take care of your preschool children yourself, change your own tires, sew your own clothes, and you'd be waiting a long time for a cashier to take your money and put your purchases in a bag. What is this doing to us as a society?
I think it's really a crumbling of the American dream. The American dream is if you work hard, you can get ahead. The idea that a job should be a route out of poverty is one that I think most people embrace, the value and dignity of work. That if people are doing the right thing, getting enough training and getting to a job and going to work every day, then our social values are that people should not be put in desperate measures. When you have a paycheck and you're going to work every week, you shouldn't be trying to figure out heat or, are you going to pay your gas bill, or are you going to provide food? Is it health care or child care? I think it says that our society is letting people fail when they're doing the right thing.
Did you know hundreds of thousands of people in the Atlanta region don't earn enough money to afford a one-bedroom apartment? 210,000 office and administrative support workers, 126,000 sales and related workers, 91,000 food preparation and serving workers, 91,000 transportation and material moving workers, 70,000 production workers, 51,000 construction and extraction workers, 32,000 building and grounds cleaning and maintenance workers, 26,000 personal care and service workers, 24,000 protective service workers, and 18,000 healthcare support workers. In his inauguration address, President Barack Obama made the following statement, quote, "The question we ask today is not whether our government is too big or too small, but whether it works, whether it helps families find jobs at a decent wage, care they can afford, and a retirement that is dignified." The question is, what is a decent wage? Our answer: a decent wage is a living wage that enables working families to meet their basic financial needs without relying on public assistance, without depending on taxpayers' support. When government cannot or will not act to raise the living standard of people in such circumstances, people it was created to serve, it's time for communities of faith to speak out, to add their voices to those of other non-government organizations calling for change. Studies done by the Association of Community Organizations for Reform Now, or ACORN, show that there has been little negative impact on businesses in cities that have enacted a living wage law. In fact, many businesses have benefited from the law with lower employee turnover and increased productivity. And thousands of Atlanta workers would have a decent place to sleep. Studies by the Atlanta Living Wage Coalition have shown that a living wage in Georgia will increase the tax base, providing more money for government services, help small businesses and communities by increasing residents' purchasing power, help reduce the high turnover of low-wage jobs, which reduces the cost of hiring and training for employers and improves the quality of service for the public, increase fair competition for public contracts, making it more difficult for poverty wage employers to undercut companies that pay decent wages, and allow working people to support their families with just one job and spend more time with their families and communities. So how do we do it? Where do we begin?
I think that people think that the minimum wage is low and it's not generous, but it's enough, but it's not enough. And so we want churches and congregations to talk about the issue and learn about the issue so that when politicians and government officials start weighing the choices, their constituents will know the way it really is and will hopefully urge them to vote for a living wage instead of just the minimum wage. It's really a matter of raising awareness.
Religion is the common denominator for most of the movers and shakers in Atlanta and Georgia. At services each week, ministers, rabbis, priests, and imams speak to thousands of politicians and business owners. This gives them a unique opportunity to reach policymakers and begin an open dialogue.
I think it's our obligation as faith leaders to bring to the consciousness of our political leaders the essential need to pay workers a wage that will enable them to maintain their families and to progress in the society.
Judaism speaks very directly, asking us to do this not out of charity, but out of a sense of justice. It's very clear that making sure that people have a fair wage is a just thing. It's not a kind thing. It's part of what we commit to just by being human on this earth.
We've become so polarized that people don't realize how we are affected by what happens to one another. And to me, this is a matter of loving our neighbors as ourselves. This is a matter of, it may not affect me directly, but the people who are serving me in the community are working for minimum wage. My neighbor may be working for minimum wage. My sister may be a family member. So we're all affected by this for two reasons, in my opinion. One, because people we know are affected. And two, because the overall state of our culture and our economy is at stake.
A living wage would clearly have a positive impact on Georgia's economy. And what would it mean to hundreds of thousands of working families throughout our state struggling to make ends meet?
I knew it would change the quality of my life because we all want to be able to take care of our children. It would make a lot of difference for me and my family.
Imagine everyone in Georgia going to work every day, knowing that what we do, no matter what that may be, has real value, can fully support our families, and that we make a difference in the world every day. For more information on how you, as an individual or as a congregation of any faith tradition, can help establish a living wage for working families, visit www.fairnessforgeorgiafamilies.org or call us at 404-523-5554, extension 226.